Today I want to show you some of the things I did for making my first garden here, and as you can see, it's been successful. To start out, I did the first initial till of the section I wanted to use, and I hope to not have to till anymore in the future to keep the dirt nice and soft to have a no-till garden. I added some powdered lime before I realized there was the option of pelletized, which would make it a lot easier for the spreader. And right here I found an old root that gave me a little jerk. Now the material I laid down to prevent weeds is like a mixture between the felt fabric and the plastic poly type fabric. Next time I will probably do only the plastic without the felt interwoven. And here's the final result with the fabric pinned down and the 2x6s making a perimeter with the fence posts. For the cucumber trellis, I put a 2x4 on the outside buried down a little bit, and on the other side I just added a little more length to the 4x4. Here I used the small type of garden fence post and made a parallel line against the metal fence to make a little area for watermelon. Here I used the method of having a hole cut in a piece of wood and then just burning out the fabric. Unfortunately, I don't have some sort of amazing time lapse to watch the garden grow, but 2 months later, let's take a look at how well this garden did. One thing I can already tell you that I'll be doing different next year is, for one, adding a gate to get in, but two, I'll be changing the way I just make all the plants around here, because as you can tell, it's a little difficult to walk around in here after they've grown so big. Next year I'll end up changing my beans to be trellised like the cucumbers, because that'll take up less space. I was just trying some things out, and you live and learn. I don't know what I did right, because I really haven't maintained these cucumbers, but the leaves have been doing all right. I pruned at the very beginning some. They have been producing cucumbers just in unreal amounts. It was recommended to me to make sure to pick the cucumbers when they're smaller like this, so they have a better crunch and a better taste to them. You could probably go bigger than this, and we have let them go bigger and they're fine, but I'm learning, so I'm not really telling you what to do, just showing you my garden. Now the one thing I can already highly recommend is to trellis your cucumbers up like this, because they go pretty crazy, and if you can only imagine what that would do going around everything in your garden, this is definitely the way to go. It's also kind of easier to look through and find your cucumbers. One issue I am having, we're here in the later part of July and these cucumbers have grown like crazy. I do have vining that has just started going everywhere. I haven't learned completely on all the pruning, the proper pruning to keep them producing the best cucumbers without doing a bunch of extra leaves and everything, but you know, that'll be a learning process that I find out eventually. And here's yet another good harvest of cucumbers, but we have had many more than this before at one time. Now my sweet potatoes here are absolutely taking over this whole side of the garden. I've never grown sweet potatoes or seen what they look like, and I didn't realize how much they just vined out like crazy. But I'll definitely keep doing these and try to provide a better area for them. The special thing to me about these sweet potatoes are that these were my great-grandpa's sweet potatoes, and my grandpa has continued to grow, and he gave me a few of the potatoes and I made some slips, and now I'm going to try to continue growing them and probably give them to other people maybe, so that can kind of be a little bit of distribution of what used to be my great-grandpa's sweet potatoes. And to add on to that, my great-grandpa passed away in 2008, and ever since then my grandpa has grown these. And I asked him actually how long my great-grandpa had been growing these, and he said it had been a while and possibly even started these before the 90s. So this is probably over a 30-year-old strain of Georgia Jet sweet potatoes. This is sort of another difficult spot to get to, but as you can see, I have this chicken wire type stuff going along here, and it's because I wanted to use this wall and use that as like a channel of growing watermelon, and it's actually mostly worked pretty good. Sometimes along the edge here you have to take off the watermelon from vining up, but as you can see here, we are getting some watermelon, and these are sugar baby watermelon. I don't know that I've ever had them, but I was just trying something, and so far it's working. Now, I have grown up with my grandparents always having sweet corn, and you know, we'd get to enjoy that, and so that's always made me want to try growing some corn, and thankfully it's actually done really well, and they're pretty much about ready to harvest right now. I'll probably be doing that within the next couple days here, because they seem like they're about ready, and I'm just really thankful that they've done well. But I'll probably not do it again just because the space that I have here is not really that great for doing corn. But I always wanted to try it, and it worked. Now, I've never actually harvested any corn, but from what I've had to look up in tips, I was talking about the silk on the end being dead, and also to where you can open it up a little bit and pop one of the kernels, and if it's a milky white, then it's ripe. So I'm thinking these might be good to go. Yeah, in here I can see yellowy, and then when I pop it, yep, it's a milky white liquid. So I think this is ready to go ahead and harvest. Now this is definitely what I've been looking forward to. Yep, that one's ready to go. So I think I'm gonna be picking all these. So here's basically all the corn I got. There's maybe one or two more that I was gonna let it go a little longer, and then I picked a few the other day, but that's about it. Obviously it's not much, but I just wanted the challenge of trying to grow it, and it was successful. So I'm very thankful for that.